So this is the latest in a long series of posts we've done on this blog about building real-time applications with the Tropo platform. Tropo is uniquely engineered to support real-time apps because the code for your communication application runs inside of our cloud environment. So you don't have a middleman, back-end script to sit between your communication application code and a real-time server like Node.js or something similar. So today I'm going to talk about an open source real-time web server called Chloe. It is supported by a company called Mashion. They are out of Philadelphia. And if you go to github.com/Mashion, you will see their GitHub page and you'll find their Chloe project. It's a project written in Erlang, but they provide a couple of binaries for you to download, a Mac version and an Ubuntu version. You can also build from source if you'd like to. I did not do that for this example. The README will get you started with setting up a JavaScript client to listen for messages sent through Chloe and also explain a very simple and easy to use server-side API so that you can send messages. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build a conferencing dashboard with Tropo and Chloe that will display information about calls that come in on a conference call. I'm going to do that with a very simple HTML page and some jQuery and the client-side JavaScript library for Chloe. So let's look at what that script looks like. As you can see, Chloe runs on port 8901 by default, and since I'm running on my local machine, I'm going to just import the Chloe library thusly. And I just create a new instance of Chloe and create a connection. And then I'm just going to listen for messages. In this case, I'm going to get a JSON package from Tropo that will let me very simply add a new list item to an unordered list that will be displayed on the page. This is an extremely simple example, but I think it demonstrates just how easy it is to get started using Chloe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run a conferencing application in Tropo. In this case, I've written it in PHP, but you could write it in any of the languages supported by Tropo. We support PHP, Ruby, Python, Groovy, and JavaScript. So really, any of those would work just fine. So if we look at the actual script, again, you'll see that it is quite modest, and that's largely a function of the ease of use with both Tropo and Chloe. I'm going to grab a couple of properties off the call object so that I can use those in my unordered list. I'm going to welcome the conference or the caller to the conference, or tell them I can't connect if I'm unable to send a message to Chloe. So in Tropo, setting up a conference is really easy. It's one line of code basically. It's using a conference ID, which in this case I'm just using an arbitrary number, and passing in some options, and that's pretty much it. So a really sophisticated conferencing application is just a couple of lines of code in Tropo. So you interact with Chloe, you send messages to clients by just making a simple HTTP post. And in this case, I'm going to use PHP's built-in curl functions to do just that. I will construct a little bit of JSON, and then since I'm running Chloe on my local machine, I'm going to use a service called Tunneler, which I've used many times in examples on this blog, to expose my local machine to the outside world. In this case, I want to create a tunnel between port 8901 on my local machine to the port that's provisioned for me by the Tunneler service. So let's go ahead and do that. So how this works is, every time a call comes in, I'm just going to use Chloe to send a message to this HTML script that's running just on my local machine, and jQuery to just add a new item to an unordered list. So let's call our conferencing application. And I will see a new caller.
Welcome to the conference. Press the pound key to exit.
Now I'm going to mute these phones that I use, or else we'll get some crazy feedback. You can see what I've done here is I've provisioned, since Mashion is from Philly, I assigned a Philadelphia number to this application. With Tropo, you get all sorts of goodness for free. You get a Skype number, a SIP number, and an INUM number with every application that you create on Tropo. And adding a new phone number is really simple. You just click the Add a New Phone Number link in your account, your app settings, and you will be able to add a number in one of the dozens of area codes that we've got. And development is 100% for free. So let me add a few calls to this conference, and you will see how it works. I'll call from my cell phone. We'll see another call jump on there.
Welcome to the conference. Press the pound key to exit.
The other thing I'll do.
Welcome to the conference. Press the pound key to exit.
Oops. So I can also add a Skype call, because with Tropo you can call your applications with Skype as well. You can see my caller ID is a little bit different with my Skype call. So now, as callers start to drop off of this conference,
Thank you for joining the conference. Goodbye.
the jQuery logic in my HTML page simply removes that list item.
Thank you for joining the conference. Goodbye.
Let me just hang up this time. It should have the same effect. Yeah, it does. So you can see a very powerful and very useful conferencing dashboard built with the real-time web server Chloe and Tropo's unmatched conferencing application writing ability. Very simple to do, very easy. You could add all sorts of features to this with really just a little bit of time and a little bit more code. So this is another example of Tropo's uniqueness in terms of its support for real-time applications. And I think it demonstrates nicely the ease of use of the Chloe real-time web server. So if you're building a real-time app, and we've got lots of examples on this blog showing you how to use Tropo with various Node.js real-time servers, and also things like Redis that support publish subscribe. Take a look at Chloe. It's a new project, but it's got some smart people behind it, and it definitely brings a lot to the table.